Come on, come on, come on. What am I going to say?
You are live.
We are live! Good afternoon, adventurers. You know what time it is. It is Friday. We're at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida, and it is time for John's Dungeon Corner. Woohoo! All right. I'm John, your co-host, along with
I'm Donna.
the co-host. Hey! So how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good. All right, so a couple things. Oh yeah, I know it's crazy, right?
It's okay.
Yeah, there wasn't another better chair. I couldn't
That's
find a
okay.
stool.
No,
All right,
good.
so what have we got going today? Well, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Let's talk about. So we got a lot of new people who really don't even know who we are. So we're gonna kind of introduce ourselves because do you know that not next Friday, but well, it kind of falls in the middle of the week, but the following Friday is going to be the 3-year anniversary of John's Dungeon Corner.
Oh.
That's why it says John's DC 2021. I started it. I made that up because that's when we started. It was in 2021. Hey, it's Friday, Sarah. Welcome. So, I was just saying that in by the way, viewers, all those of you who just pop in or you heard about it, and you'll hear me repeat stuff because as people come in, I try to kind of catch them up real quick. Really quick. Jason Friday. Yes, it is. Welcome to the show. Hey, so I was telling everybody that the show, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday, which will be I think like the
13th,
the 13th. Whoa, Friday the 13th. Yeah. Well, it was actually I think 3 years ago. It was a different. Yeah, it wasn't quite Friday the 13th 3 years ago, I don't think. But anyway,
close enough.
We'll take it. On Friday the 13th, it will be the 3-year anniversary of John's Dungeon Corner. So, I don't know. We'll do something crazy. I don't know what yet, but something. So my name is John. Hey, Antonio. Hi. Good Friday to you, too. So, my name is John. And as a recap, I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons since I was 11, and I'm older than 21. Yep. Actually, I've been playing for a long time. I started playing in the little box set that Gary Gygax and them made out. They had the 3 little booklets in it. Monsters, Men, Miss Men's and Monsters, Chainmail, and everything was a D6 for damage. So, I roll a D6 for the branch. I also roll a D6 for the 2-handed sword. So, hey, it was great.
And for Constitution to make sure you don't run away.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy things. But
there was no dungeon masters. There were none. Referees.
There was what? God knows what there was. People running the game out of a book and hoping that you didn't run into a dragon around the corner. But so I've been playing for a while, and then I started dungeon mastering back when the booklets came out, when the expert set and the beginner set and the gold, the intermediate, all that craziness came out. I started running games. I've been running games since then. I've run many campaigns. I have like 3 campaigns going now. What? You're older than 21? I thought you were 20. Thank you. Very nice, very nice. You get brownie points for that. Your character doesn't get to die. No. Right. No. But so I've played in many diversified kind of games. I've played in Dungeons & Dragons from its inception all the way through the 5th edition, which has actually become my favorite, actually, as far as the ease of use, both for the players to learn the game and for Dungeon Masters to run the game. So I've been playing for a while. I've seen miniatures go from metal miniatures that were made out of lead, which were banned, basically, pulled off the shelves. Everybody went crazy over them, to where they became this Palladium stuff, to where they became pewter, and now they became plastic, and now they're these beautiful plastic painted miniatures, pre-primer, which was unheard of. If you'd have said pre-primer miniatures back when, they'd go, what? We got a prime room?
Yeah, it happened so quick too. I was playing, and everybody had to spend so much time painting, and then all of a sudden I came back into the game in real life, and everything was pre-primed.
All right, so we're gonna get to that question in a second, Sarah. I'll read it. But so that's about me. And currently, I run the John's Dungeon Corner for the last 3 years. People come in and out. Donna has become the co-host when she can because she works, has a son, and life. But she comes in as often as she can. And talking about Donna, I'll let her tell you about her. How's that?
I have been playing specifically Dungeons and Dragons. I started dabbling 11 years ago, got more and more into it.
Makes you
Played
sound like a witch,
online for dabbling, toil and trouble, and nonsense. I don't know anything about that. I started coming to the collective 2 years ago after I kind of felt more comfortable playing in real life person again with people. And I started DMing 1 year ago because I was a nervous wreck about doing it, and I felt so nervous and nerve-wracking. I felt really weird about it, and I didn't think I was going to do a good job. And now I am here a year later. Everyone loves being in my game, and I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on it at this point.
Right?
I've dabbled in some other TTRPGs and played plenty of other RPG video games. And
tell them what a TTRPG is.
Tabletop role-playing game.
Okay.
So it's the role-playing game.
You can tell people have been doing this for a while. They go, TT, and you'll hear them here. It's like MMORGs, and it's like, huh?
Yeah.
But
I
anyway,
don't even remember what that stands for, but I know what it is. MMORPG.
Mass multiplayer
online
role-playing game. Online role-playing game.
Yeah.
MMORPG.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, my brother. Mein Bruder. Meine Bruder. Wo bist du? That's German. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but
yeah, what he said.
He knows German, so sort of. Anyway, all right. So Willie from New York. I mean, we got all kinds of wonderful people on it. So okay, so let's answer Sarah's question. So Sarah wants to know what has been the biggest change to the game that you have seen. Okay, we're gonna let you go. Well, ladies first. Okay. How's that?
I feel like with the...
No, wait, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I stole your thunder.
Oh.
As things like Critical Role have come out and a lot of these D&D shows and D&D podcasts, I've really enjoyed a lot more interesting homebrew that has become part of the game. It's also become so much more enjoyable. I feel like it's gone from like, this is a game with rigid rules to this is you being able to fulfill your wildest dreams and play out your dream person and fulfill your fantasies and live a fantasy life. And it has, I don't know, just for me personally, become like creating a incredible story with friends.
So now let's go back to something you said, the rigid rules. See, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Even way, alles ist Ordnung. How do you do? How good do you do? Ich bin gut.
Ich bin gut.
I'm doing good.
I only know how to curse in German, which is why I haven't said anything.
Alles gut.
Very good.
Aus Florida.
What was your
well, actually, going back to what I was going to say, I'm only talking German. One of the things that you said about the rules, that's one of the things is that Dungeons and Dragons never had rules. That's the funniest thing, because Gary Gygax himself, the guy who created Dungeons and Dragons, and I'll always, hats off to Gary wherever he is up there in Dungeons and Dragons heaven. He passed away a while ago, but he always said that these are guidelines. Mm-hmm. He always said that. He stuck by that. Like you said, you can do anything in this game. You really can. Mm-hmm. You really, really can, because the rules are only guidelines. And it's really nice because what it really does is gives you a framework to work within. Right. You can change that. It's like a building. There's building codes, but you can build that building however you want. You can make it look cool. You can make it tall, short, wide, deep, 10 floors, 30 floors, whatever, right?
The mechanics of the game are there for you to utilize to build your building however you want, so that it works correctly. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. That way everybody's on the same page when it comes to combat and the essential part, the mechanics of the game. But okay, so what has been the biggest change? Biggest change. Wow. So from the very beginning, there's been a lot of changes. I mean, the dice have evolved. I mean, dice making has become its own art form. The game has changed where how you play the game kind of like the guidelines have changed. I think that, like I said, 5th edition is my favorite. And this is going to kind of answer the second part too, like what has been your favorite advancement in the game? I think the way they've evolved the rules now, although I'm going to say 3.5 was a blast. The thing with 3.5, and the only thing, and we love 3.5, don't get me wrong, we still play 3.5, is that there are so many feats and so many, it's crazy. So that's kind of one of the things that I did like, is how they brought the feat list down. They've added some through some of the other books, but that's okay because but I like that it's become player friendly and game master easy, which means a game master, and I would tell you again, like I've told you a million times.
Everything is good. Listen.
Yeah, I know what you said. And I said I am doing good and everything's good in Florida. Okay. Anyway, but anyway, so those box sets that came out, the new box sets that have come out are amazing. Okay. The advances that they made with that and the miniature, the module books that have come out are amazing. You pick that up and just run it straight out the book, and it runs really effortlessly. It runs smoothly, and it kind of joins. It's like when you put two pieces of something together and they just fit perfect. That's what these books and that's what the books do and the box sets do. So that's where we're at with that. Now, talking about a couple things. I'm gonna address there were some things that came in, but they're all pretty much restocks. And then I've told you, dice have come in, more miniatures have come in. We're getting restocks. I'll show you something crazy. Okay, so normally you see that I have like 3 books up there, right? Dungeon Master's Guide, Player's Handbook, Monster Manual. We're completely out of the Dungeon Master's Guide. That's a great sign because we had about a dozen of them. It shows that more people are getting into running the game now.
We need that. Please come run a game here
on a Wednesday.
I'll help you.
No, you got to run your own game.
Well, I mean, I'll help you when you first start.
Oh, we'll all help you. All the DMs will pitch in and help you out.
We'll pitch in. I won't be there running it for you.
No, that you got to pull your own hair out.
I'm not a helicopter mom. You gotta spread your wings and fly, buddy. You got this. I believe in you.
Right, we believe in you, man. But so we're out of the DMs guide, and we're gonna. Some are on order, but that's what I mean. Things are constantly moving. There's a lot of excitement in the D&D community. The movie came out. That kind of, that just kind of sprung things out. And of course,
movie and Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things. There's just so much. Podcasts. Yeah. Podcasts have become. That's one of the big changes. I mean, well, okay. In all honesty, back then there wasn't even internet.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. It's Anyway, okay, enough with the German. He's driving me crazy here. No more German.
Yeah.
But anyway, now you're gonna have to sit there and tell them what you said.
Right.
You know that, right? Because people are gonna read this and say, "Oh, what's he insulting the DM? He doesn't like Dungeons and Dragons." Anyway, no. So that's a big deal.
We're out of books, but there is a store copy if you need one.
Yeah, to use here. It doesn't get the lead
for the day.
All right.
Take pictures on your phone so you have the pages you need. Bring a printer, make copies, whatever you need to do.
But that's as far as the advancement. I think it's the availability. I think let's cover all that in the availability of Dungeons and Dragons. Because I mean, you can buy Dungeons and Dragons at Walden Books and Books A Million. I mean,
they have it at the Altamont Mall and the.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's places that just carry it. Yeah.
And also, I mean,
the maps and the dodges. Look, he can actually. He's great in German, but when it becomes writes in English, you can't look at them. I said the maps and the dungeons are the difference for me.
So that's where
the dodges. Yes,
falls apart for you, huh?
So what about? Okay, so sorry, you asked Antonio. Let's you guys put down what you guys believe. Your biggest, what you guys, since you've been playing, what the biggest advances have been.
Comment below.
What's your biggest? This way other people can see it, right?
And your favorite change.
Yeah. I mean, Willie's been playing for a while too.
Actually do it.
Yeah. Antonio's been playing for a while. Sarah's been playing for a bit. Yeah. Jason actually started here, right, Jason? I ran the first game for Jason, but even since that time, things have changed in the 5e world. So. It's been really good. So now we got him past that. Tom Holmes. Look, Tom Holmes is German. Tom, what's happening?
from YouTube. How are ya?
Yeah, how you doing, brother?
That's really cool.
So
we're getting off track.
We'll get off track. Okay. We got to focus on Dungeons and Dragons. Y'all, I love you. I love it, Tom. Y'all are great, man. This is, hey, for all of you who are new, we got to introduce ourselves. That's the way this show works. We interact with what's going on with our live people, with everybody who's live, and we bring stuff that's emailed to that johnsdc2021@gmail.com, and we use a show. Usually I'll group up a bunch of stuff and we'll talk about it on the show, which is what we're going to do today. Sometimes we have preordained things like paint sessions or miniature sessions or things that we've planned and we're doing. But like today, this is all off the internet, and I want to make sure I get to it. So one, somebody had asked me about last week. Oh, I should have brought the box out here. Would you mind going in that new box? You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
It's right there on the corner where the Hill Giant thing is. His box set, the dungeon set. You'll see it's a mystery dungeon set. It's a box set. That's what I asked. What's happening? Yes. What is happening? All kinds of things are happening. We're running a show. We're talking about different things. But so the box set that my co-host Donna went to go get we came for the old auction and ended up playing The Days of Buy Mystery Minis by the Racks. Good times. Yes. And we'll talk about that. So, real quick, since she went to go get the book, our friendships like Jason, JB, 50 Cent, a lot of the people, we met them here during the days of comic books. We were here for comic books. And I was talking with Jason and I said, and my favorite part is dice. And we were doing comic books and I was talking about that one. And we were talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and they said, well, we've never played. So JB and Jason were heavily into comic books. And 50 Cent and that, we started playing D&D, and they sat down, and there was like 5 of us that were playing at first. And Antonio was helping everybody, and it was a great time, and it's evolved from there. But that was like 3 years ago, actually about 4 years ago. And we used to sit down and we'd buy. Okay, so you guys have seen the bricks of miniatures, right? It comes with eight sets of miniatures in them. Okay, so we would either split one between 2 people, or somebody would buy one on their own, and we would open them all up, and we would put them in the middle of the table, and then we do a fantasy football draft where we go, okay, you're first, and then we go down and back and down and back. It didn't matter what miniature you picked up. It could have been the big one. It could have been a really cool little one. Whatever you wanted, you grabbed it when it came to be your turn. And we did that. I think Brendan, the owner of the store, got in on it. It was just a lot of fun. Yeah. And that's what D&D. I didn't know Jason and JB, and 50 Cent before here. Didn't know Donna. Yeah. But opened 8 to 10 racks. Yes, we did. Yeah, we busted open 8 to 10 racks that day. It was crazy. But we had a lot of fun. It was just done in fun, and we walked out, and everybody was happy with what they got. No one cared.
And it's nice to do at the store too, and you have little freebies for whatever's left over that nobody wanted.
Oh, we gave away a bunch of miniatures that day. But if you want to see pictures, we have pictures. So I was talking about this right here, the Veiled Dungeon. Yeah. Okay, and it comes with these monster cards. It has 40 monster cards in it, and I was talking about it, and then somebody sent me an email saying, "Hey, are there cards for Dungeons and Dragons for the monsters in that?" I said, absolutely. So here they are. I like to show these things. This is challenge rating 0. Now they're not done by level or anything. They're done by challenge ratings. So there goes the box of challenge rating 0 through 5. These are all the monsters. They should be. I'm not going to say all the monsters in the monster manual, but I believe they are there. Okay. And they're really neat. That's what they look like. They have a picture of the monster and a nice description, armor class, hit points, hit dice, all that good stuff. Yes.
2,
okay.
4.
Yep. So, and then there's also, challenge rating 6 through 16. Now you get into the intermediate stuff. That it takes a little bit. Yeah. Takes a little bit. All right. So there goes that. All right. And then for those of you who,
but still worth it.
Because Volo came out with a guide to monsters, the Volo's Guide to Monsters. These are all the cards that are in there.
And this is 0 through.
This is all of it. This is every monster that he had in Volo's guide. So it's challenge rating 0 through wherever. You know, Volo's an adventurer who traveled around and made notes of all the monsters. And he's got a really cool story. You got to look him up. Look his story up. He was something else. He was a very cool kind of guy. I mean, people kind of look at him and go, eh. Now, there's another one that's called Creature and NPC cards. These are NPCs. They're creatures like, I think it's like a fighter, and the NPC creature cards are like horses and oxen. Yeah. And as you can see, I think that's what, a giant ant on there?
This is giant spider.
Oh, I'm sorry, a giant spider. So it's all the other monsters that aren't really covered. They're like the mundane things. But it's nice to have because they're there. You know, you want to go on a rat hunt. You want to run into an NPC. The card's already made up for you. So this is your answer right here. Yes, they have them, and they're very diversified. Which is really good. I have these at home. Awesome. Okay, so that's that. The one thing I told you about, I want to talk about, what should we talk about first, though? Oh, yes. Let's talk about black powder weapons is what I like to call it. Yeah, black powder weapons in Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah. So, somebody asked, how do I handle it? Can they be used? The rules, this, that, the other. And I said, okay, so there is a class, the Artificer, which can create them. There's other ways. I mean, there's cannons in the game, obviously, things. There are rules for black powder weapons and whatever. Actually, you can even bring in weapons from, I believe, in Spelljammer. You can bring in weapons. But
in Tal'Dorei, there are firearms.
Okay, so hold on. Well, Tal'Dorei's, we're going to get to that in a second.
Fire subclass.
Right.
Fighter subclasses for
There you go. The gunslinger?
Yes.
No. Yeah. All right, we're going to get to that in a second because she's going to tell you about that because she knows, she runs that campaign. So it's awesome that we're talking about this today. Mm-hmm. But as far as, general, yes, the guidelines for that are out there. It's something that is some people use. The question was because they want to run like a pirate thing. You know, they want to do like the saber in one hand, the flintlock in the other. Mm-hmm. Happy Friday, my love. Welcome to the show. So they want to do that. And I'm like, okay, so here's the way. And they said, do I use them? Do I know anybody who uses them? Okay, so do I use them? No. Not that I'm against the whole black powder. It's just my game is more. And this is an individual. See, that question is always an individual DM kind of thing. I really have not played. I don't really like the black powder concept because for that I might as well carry a crossbow. It's single shot, and in the game there's actually a repeating crossbow, so I'd rather have that. You can carry 2 hand crossbows. You can carry 2 pistols too, but anyway. So I'm more of a sorcery. I like the aspect of magic. You know, instead of shooting you with a cannon, I want to blast you with a fireball. And instead of using 2 or 3 cannons, I want to drop a meteor storm on you. So that's my thing. I don't really do it. I don't even use artificers in my campaign. That's one of the classes that I don't allow simply because no, it's just like that. But then I do other things. So with races, but every game is different. So that's my take on it. Now in Donna's campaign, because her campaign actually happens in the world of Critical Role. So that's a totally different world. If you've seen the show, so how do you handle that though? So the firearms.
So it does feel overpowered at first.
Right.
So you have plenty of limitations on it. You know, if you only have the ability to make 6 rounds per day or 12 rounds per day, then you only get your 12 shots per day. You can run them out of ammo pretty quick.
Yeah, you can.
And
send goblins after them.
Then you have the opposite problem where when your monsters are becoming enormous, overpowered, abhorrent.
You don't need all that. Just send a horde of goblins.
Yes. When you have overpowered hordes of goblins coming.
Yes. Hordes of goblins.
Hordes and hordes.
Hordes.
Their weapons need to become more powerful. So the best thing to do is give them the ability to make more ammo. Their artificer, you get out of here. Their skills become better. Now they can go from making 6 shots a day to making 7. They can make 60 a day. They can make. They can find a pouch that gives them they throw ammo in there, and then it becomes an unlimited supply of that exact same ammo. Oh yeah. I don't want to accidentally kill my players, so I let them be as powerful as they want to be.
Now there's a statement. I don't want to accidentally kill them. I love it. So that's good. You feel there's a good as the monsters grow, as the players grow, it becomes balanced.
Yeah,
absolutely. A little imbalanced at first, you think?
A little imbalanced at first, and you can get creative with it. And I'm sure your players will want to get creative with it. My players have found ways that they've gone from town to town to town, and they've learned new skills, and they've picked up things. They've learned how to make hollow points that do.
But Jay, welcome to the show. We keep doing that, don't we? We're horrible like that. See people, hey!
We get excited.
Yeah, we do.
So they've learned to make hollow points. They learned to put
spells. Oh, okay. So anyway, now you can see that it can be used in Tell Them the World is Tal'Dorei, which is the Critical Role world.
Yes.
And they actually have a guy on the TV show.
Yes.
The Artificer. Is he an Artificer? Or is he a Gunslinger? What is he? And Tony, you might know. I think Antonio would know. Who help me out here? Somebody who watches all the Critical Role, because I've seen the guy, but I don't even know what his class actually is.
Percy,
that's his name, but what is he?
I don't know.
And that's the original one, right? That's the original guys.
I'm guessing fighter and then subclass gunslinger.
Okay. Well, if anybody can help us out with that.
I don't remember.
Oh, and by the way, everybody on there, Jason, Tom, Antonio,
Sarah,
Christina.
yeah.
No, well, Sarah answered. Make sure you go and see Sarah's post. Fighter subclass gunslinger. You're right. Fighter. Thank you, Antonio. Make sure that you go up there and let me scroll up here so I can see what the question is. I want everybody to answer this. I want other viewers to see this. The question was, what has been the biggest change to the game? Okay, but I want to know is not that. I want to know what has been your favorite advancement in the game. Willie sat there and said it was the maps and the dungeons. And it's really nice. If you guys have seen some of the maps, you know what he's talking about. And the dungeons. And then Sarah said that for me, it's the miniatures. Since I have started 7 years ago, the availability of different types of miniatures has skyrocketed. It still amazes me. Custom 3D characters that you get. That's a very good point. And our favorite point, of course, is the dice. Hey, Nancy, how are you? We missed you. We missed you coming on. So answer that question. What is your favorite part? What is your favorite advancement in D&D? Because the miniatures, that's what I said. I mean, have you seen some of those 3D printed miniatures?
Can you believe at one point in time we played without 3D printers even existing?
Oh, no. Let's go back, way back to where there was no such thing as miniatures. Because we used whatever. We used pennies and nickels and dimes, Monopoly, whatever. Soldiers, Indians, the Cowboys, the green, the yellow. It didn't matter. I think that it was also a special build for Percy, since they converted from a Pathfinder setup and he wanted to bring his character over from that. See, they know a little bit more. I've seen the show intermittently. Yeah. But let me tell you, a Critical Role has done a great job, I think, also on the web. And a lot of DMs. I give credit to everybody who's talked about D&D. Whether you thought the show was good, great, good, or indifferent about it, they talked about it. And they tried to bring awareness of some facet of Dungeons and Dragons to everyone. And they've done a great job. I mean, they've got their TV show, their cartoon show, their animation. Yeah. They do the live games on there, and they're all voice actors. If you ever want to see how to play different personalities or something and how to use your voice, I'm still working on it. I mean, Matt Mercer is amazing, but all the players at his table are all voice actors, and they are amazing also. So 2 thumbs up to you guys. So that's the firearm thing. Yeah. Now let's talk about the skills, because I want to explain this because I kind of went over the skills once. Remember, we went over it and it was kind of like murky, I guess, for some people. So we'll talk about that real quick. And I was actually talking to Don about this, and I said, okay, so everybody knows I used to go to martial arts school with my son Antonio, and we had tumbling in this, we had martial arts, but I'm not going to use the martial arts. There's even novels with their character stories starting to come out. There we go. They got comic books too. So they've done a really good job of bringing the awareness of D&D to everyone. But so we were talking, and I said, I'm not even going to use martial arts because it's funny. We used to teach tumbling and gymnastics to a point. Okay, we didn't do all the rings and stuff, but we had a tumble track.
Mm-hmm.
So people could learn to do flips and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we had people who could actually teach, the 720s and the gainers and the butterfly and all this stuff and back springs and front springs and hand back. And I told her, I said, well, I can do a cartwheel and I can do a front handspring and I can do that. So yes, when it comes to the skills and where I'm getting at, let's use acrobatics. And let's say that Donna is a gymnast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm not. I'm a martial arts instructor who knows how to tumble. There's a difference, okay? So yes, as the martial arts instructor, since everybody has proficiency, all your characters, whether or not they're proficient, this is the magical word, everybody has access to every skill that's listed, from athletics all the way down to survival and everything in between, right? You have access to it. Then depending on your ability score that goes with it, it modifies it, right? Okay, now, so I am proficient in acrobatics.
When you have a regular modifier, it means that you have a better chance of doing it well.
Right.
If you have a proficiency and a modifier, you have a really good chance of doing it well because you have so much experience doing it, and it's good for the DM to take that into consideration.
Right. So here we go. Let's use the acrobatics. Let's go back to acrobatics. So as acrobatics, I know how to do it. I know how to do a cartwheel. I know how to do a front handspring. I can do a back handspring. Heck, I can do certain things. And I can do them okay. Now, anybody can do a cartwheel, right? Anybody? You see so many people do cartwheels on the beach and here and there and back handsprings and that. But now, that's me. That's every player. Now, we're going to go to her character. Her character is Donna is a gymnast.
Yeah.
Is an actually bona fide gymnast. She now imagine what her cartwheel round off back handspring looks like as opposed to mine.
Right.
She does this every day for hours on end. I do this every once in a while when somebody asks me to teach them or to demonstrate it. Big difference, right? Yeah. This is the way it is in D&D. That's the way I want you to view this. Now, let's go one step further. Remember, we were talking about the expertise skill that the rogue gets. Yeah. And I think, does the bard get it too? No. Does
Which one?
Expertise.
Expertise.
Can't remember. But anyway, so the ability, expertise, it's just, the rogue gets it. Now let's say that the rogue takes expertise, which doubles their proficiency modifier into the skill of acrobatics. So now it's gone from her level to the Olympic level.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. Everybody's me. Everybody can do a cartwheel. Everybody can do a round off and maybe even a back handspring, right? Okay. She competes. She does it every day. She is proficient. She knows the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs of acrobatics. And our gymnast, our Olympic gymnast, is out of control.
Right.
Okay.
You have to mess it up real bad in order to not nail it because it's like second nature to me.
Exactly. So there you go. Those are the three levels. So now the question, let's go back to the actual question, which was lock picking and using the tool. So there's a mechanic to all that, and she was explaining it. So I have the skill as a rogue. I'm going to take, a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
And we're going to have perception because it takes a lot of things. So it's not just about, is it locked? Okay, make a check. I mean, you can really just boom. Okay, that's an easy check. It's like a 10. Boom, boom. Okay, yeah, it's locked. Okay, so now I got the tool picks. All right, and I'm proficient in them. But now, if I'm a good rogue at first, as soon as I got expertise, guess what I did?
Yeah.
I put it into sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Which is what we use to pick locks.
Right, of course.
And now I get double my bonus. So I get +4. And then, of course, my dexterity is a +4. So I'm rolling a +8. I'm rolling a minimum of a 9, even with a 1. So now let's move. And then let me give you a little hint, clerics. And this is where you guys are beautiful people. We love you as rogues. You're going to go, what is that spell they're going to use?
For
100 gold pieces to the person who can tell me what that spell is.
Hold on.
How about, no, you guys are all in my game pretty much. 100 gold to whoever can tell me what the clerical spell is that rogues would love you for. Dun 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 dun. Sarah wins guidance. And what does guidance do, Sarah? For a bonus 50 gold. I just give away gold to my players.
You really do.
I do. Yeah, for great role playing, I gave away inspiration, all kinds of stuff. Give me a key spell. Give me a key spell.
Well, there is a spell called knock.
All right. So you know what, my love? For that, give me a key spell you just made up. You get 50 gold. How's that? Because at least you tried. I always like to reward people who try. You know? Absolutely. Maybe the trap didn't blow up in their face. I don't know.
Yeah. That's
maybe it didn't roll. Maybe I didn't roll 2d10. I rolled 1. But okay, so what's the spell do for a bonus? Come on. She's looking it up probably. You know that, right? Antonio knows this really well. I'm surprised he didn't jump on that.
Guidance, and it also can be cast by druids.
Oh, sure, but it's a spell. Yay. Add 1d4. That's right. So here is your stack, rogues. Dun, da, da. This is the tip of the day.
Yeah.
When you're doing any of your crazy stuff, whether it's disarming a trap or checking or disabling a trap or lock picking.
Yeah.
Proficiency. Expertise. Sleight of hand. Guidance. My. So you got +4. Hopefully you have a dexterity of, if not, it's +7 or +6 to +8, and then another d4 on top of that. So you could possibly have, watch this, a +12 to your roll.
Yeah.
You got +8, that's the max. Then you roll a 4, now you got +12. And now watch this, roll that 20, and you got a 32.
That would be amazing.
That is amazing. That's magical lock. That's magical. Yeah. The bottom tier magical lock. Kind of
and then you have to describe it and tell them, like, yes, you just wave your hand around this incredible lock and it just poof, opens.
It's awesome. But anyway, so
wind coming off
that's the tip for today, right? That's a good tip.
Yeah.
For rogues. Yeah. By the way, anytime you do a spell check, it's a guidance is a blah 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 cantrip.
Yes.
So you can use it over and it's just abuse. Yes, I'm telling you that because I want to help the players be successful. Of course, if you roll a 1,
just firing it off. Guidance.
Now she's like this gunslinger. Yeah. She's a gunslinger with guidance. Hey, guidance for everybody.
You get some guidance. Everybody gets some guidance.
All right, so did we explain? I think we explained. I think we explained that whole skill part. I think really well. Sure. I think that was really good. That was important. Mm-hmm. Now, what was the other thing? There were 3 topics. Did I cover them all?
Did you?
The monsters,
cards, the gunslinger.
The gunslinger. Okay. Yeah. Aha. And then an offhand thing. Listen, and we've talked about this, and this is the last thing I want to cover because it's important to the game. I will be honest and say Antonio told me what to type. He wanted to give me his gold. Well, you know what, Antonio, since you're a nice guy, you can have 100 gold too. You know, I'm like that. That's how I run. That's how I roll. In fact, everybody who's on the show, you get 100 gold. Woo. Sarah, you and Antonio get an extra 100, and my love, you get 50 extra. There you go.
I get 200.
What?
Because I'm here.
And you get 200 because you're here. You don't play my game.
I don't.
She used to, though. She was in my game. And she said, I'm going to try. So we talked about it. And then she's doing a great job. So she's done a wonderful job in the year she's been DMing. Okay. Right. The role-playing aspect of it. There are so many questions. And I'm only going to touch on it because I think I'm going to get a group. And I know I said this before. It's just hard to get a group. I'm going to get a group of like 3 or 4 of us that are going to actually role-play a scenario through. Mm-hmm. Probably at a tavern because that's the easiest way. I think that's the easiest without the combat and all that because I don't want to get in. That's a whole different world. And actually, if you want to see some really good stuff, Matt Mercer, I'm telling you, they do a great job and they're so immersed in their characters. And they love gold. I'm telling you, there we go. They love gold. And I don't mind giving out. You know what? DMs are like, what? You just going to give them gold? You're not even playing. I said, listen, guys, the players, gold. There are so many ways to spend gold in my game that they need that little bit of gold. Trust me. And most of the time they spend it on tips. These guys will tip. Let me tell you something in the game. You want to get good information. How do you think you get it? How do you think you get information in games? Really?
just wait till they realize that they can hire mercenaries.
Yes, hire mercenaries. Well, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
You can. That's a good point. You can hire people, and it's not that expensive. It really isn't.
No, people are cheap.
No, they're not. They're inexpensive. They're not cheap. I can get you cheap. The guy, the drunken soldier. Hey, the drunken soldier who you hire thinking he's just a drunk soldier to guard your camp, and the guy's like a 15th level ex-veteran.
If all you need is a guy to be bait anyways, then you might as well just get that.
Wow. So watch this. We went from guard for your stuff to bait for the monsters. Bribe. That's right. Well, bribes are good, but you know what? When you go to a tavern, right, or you go somewhere, tipping someone a couple copper or silver is an amazing thing. A silver is 10 coppers. Copper will buy you food in the game. Yeah, if you're an NPC,
good amount of money, and
you're at a stall, she's at a stall. I come up to her and I buy, I don't know, she's selling dried meats, and let's say I buy this dried meat, that dried meat, that, and it was, how much was it? How much is that? How much do I owe you for this?
12 copper.
12 copper. Oh, well, okay, well, you know what?
A good hefty size bag of
here's 2 silvers. Thank you for your help. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir. You know what? Let me throw in this random, amazing thing that I totally have prepared for this exact scenario.
Exactly. You never saw us. That's a good one. We like to keep our NPCs happy and on our team. That's right. Yes. But what she just did, and also now watch. So now we've been gone. We come back. It's a week later, and I go, "Oh, it's so good to see you again. Do you have any more of that dried beef that you had from? I think it was Saltmarsh."
Oh, absolutely. Anything for you.
Oh, thank you. Now, and I said, "Hey, listen, I was wondering," and I put down, and then I go in and I say, "Oh, this is how much owe you for the beef? What was it? A silver, right?" And I give her a silver. Now, no, it's not a silver because everything I bought was like what? 12 copper, and I given her 2 silver, so we know that one thing is not a silver. Mm-hmm. But I give her the silver. I say that's for the beef, but I wonder if you could help me out. I heard a rumor that there's an orc camp around here that's been raiding or something like that. Mm-hmm. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, let me give you all the dirty secrets about it.
Because she feels I'm not a stranger to her anymore.
Yeah.
I've given her, she already sees that I'm giving her more than what that's worth. And I'm probably, if it's my rogue character, he's probably rolling another silver, or if I really want to be generous, a gold piece back and forth on my finger, right? Just kind of rolling it back and forth. And she sees that gold piece. So she's either, I'm entertaining her, or I'm going to give her a gold piece or whatever it is I'm rolling on my finger for the information that I need. Yeah. And when I'm done, it'll just roll, and I'll just put it on top of that and say thank you and just walk away. Yeah. It was good seeing you. Thank you.
My favorite is the fortune teller NPC. Getting your players to go to the fortune teller is so much fun because you give them random. It's always a crazy lady. She's pulled out her little paper fortune. That's
right. You like using the remember the old game that you used to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or you said that.
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah, they used to have all these things they used to do, and and then you open up the thing. That's what she's talking about.
Yes, beautiful, lovely mechanic that I love to add in. And I'll say something that seems so vague, like your fortune. Oh my goodness. Avoid left doors. Forget about that. And then 2 sessions later, you're like, you see a door on the left and a door on the right. Which one do you choose?
Ooh.
And they choose the door on the left because they forgot. And I'm like, certain doom.
Remember what she said, avoid left doors.
Right. So random. So just.
And then you don't use it that same session. Like you said, 2 sessions later.
Yeah.
And there it is. And that's really cool. Yeah. I like that. See, this is kind of things that you can do. We kind of, that's still on topic because that's what you do with gold. Mm-hmm. You pay her for her services. You pay for services. Right. The NPCs come to life, and this kind of transitions into what I was about to say about role playing. That was a whole role playing session right there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's what you want to do. It's simple, and that was very simple. Mm-hmm. Very just buying something, tipping them, getting information, giving them a reward, going to the. And now we got clues, or maybe it's just gibberish. That's the part of role playing that's good. So she tells us that, and we forget to avoid left doors.
Right.
That crazy lady, whatever. It figures.
Yeah.
I told you not to go there.
Right.
And then we walk in the left door, and dang. And then somebody, of course, will go, well, don't you remember that old lady that you said was crazy? Said avoid left doors. Of course.
So funny.
That only comes after you open the left door.
Oh yeah, I love going through the session where all the fortunes come true, and then being like, "Hey, remember that weird fortune lady and what she told you?"
That's a really good point. Read that. That's important. No. That was really important.
Absolutely.
So Sarah said,
"Yeah, this is why I take notes. I don't trust my character to be smart by herself. 100%."
And she does take great notes in especially on my Wednesday game where I have a lot of beginner and newer players. She takes great notes. Antonio does great record keeping in my big game where there's 10 players. He takes that burden on himself and lists everything. I mean, he does a great job of that. Somebody in the game has to do that because it's a lot of stuff. I mean, you should see the stuff they got from the dungeon after it was all done. It was like, what was it, Antonio? Like 3 typed pages on the computer. I mean, I just said, here, write it all, take that, whatever. He wrote it all diligently down. And so role playing, and that's not really intense. That's not really intense role playing. That's kind of like lighthearted, simple. I would give the rogue a disguised self spell. That's not a bad idea. So so somebody comes up and says, because you know what? That's a really good point. For role playing too. If I was playing my rogue, I might do a disguise. I might not, because it may not matter that you know who I am. In fact, I may want you to tell somebody such and such, because people may be looking for me for both things. And of course, being the rogue that I am, I feel that I can handle myself with pretty much. Plus, I got a big, tall guy that's really silent that walks around with me, that if I can't get to him, he will. So it's crazy. But that's a good point. So I disguise myself. I don't want her to know. But what I do want her to know is that, instead of a dark elf or a wood elf, a human came up to her, dressed in fine clothes, asking questions about the orcs. Or, Betty, about the mercenaries that were hired by the new Baron.
Right. Yeah.
And she's not going to die for me, you know.
You can't expect
Sarah does notes for the at-home campaign. I lead and deal with the loot. Okay, so there it is. In black and white from Antonio, the party leader. Sarah does notes for the at-home campaign, and I lead and deal with the loot. So there you have it. They split up the work. And it's a lot. It's a lot, because my home campaign runs way different than what I do here. At home, if you forget something, tough. Yes, I deserve 100 gold. Yes, you can have 100 gold. It's okay. You know what? Like I said, to me, gold, a lot of DMs go crazy over gold. I don't care. You know, if I give them 1,000 gold, it wouldn't matter to me. Because they'll spend it. I know they're going to spend it on something. And remember, I want to buy a +5 magical sword. You said it was 1,000 gold. I got 1,000 gold, but what's the problem with that?
Where are you gonna find it?
She's the DM. Okay, I got 1,000 gold. Oh, but you said it was 1,000 gold for a +5 magical sword.
But you're in a small town in the middle.
Oh my God! So now what do I got to do then?
Oh well, maybe you can travel to this big city where everybody's looking for you, and you're.
Oh, geez, but like you just what?
Maybe you'll get robbed on the way.
That's so far away, though.
So far away.
You don't have a traveling merchant that maybe have one?
Nope.
Oh, so there it is. You see what I'm saying? Just because you got 1,000 gold or 10,000 gold doesn't mean you're going to find what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Especially if it costs that much. Stop and think about it. What would a little shop? Although I have done that where I've put the one item in the most inconspicuous, a little hamlet.
Mm-hmm.
And there it was. What do you mean? You said it was. I said, it's out there. You just got to find out where it is. I'm not going to tell you where it is. But that you can make a whole thing out of the story like that. But anyway, but you saw, right? So that's why DMs, especially new DMs, your players need so much stuff when they start out. Mm-hmm. Even though they do give them a good starting package, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I think so. I think that's one of the things I like.
I add to the starter packs too.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. What do you give them?
Bag of holding.
A bag of holding.
Offer it. Pick your favorite.
Now every player is going to desert every game and come to your game just to get the bag of holding.
I'm gonna have to run more games because I don't have any room.
I love it though. I mean, there it is. See, she starts the game out giving you a bag of holding. Mm-hmm. All all your weight problems are gone.
Yeah. Who keeps tracking?
That's what it was. That was the other thing we talked about. I'm glad you brought up the bag of holding.
Yeah.
We're level 2 at home now. Oh yeah, they've gotten to level 2 after a year.
Congrats.
But we don't play every week. We play like I think four, maybe 5 times a year. Mm-hmm. So that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But what was the thing? Oh, that was the other thing. The magical items, the homebrew magical items. Remember we talked about that. And we talked about, so it's a bag of holding.
Yes.
And there's what's his face's backpack? Oh no, I love the backpack. No, who is it? Antonio, who's the backpack by? Oh my gosh, Lehman's backpack. The backpack, it's awesome.
Yeah,
but it's not quite as, you can't hold it as much, but I like it. It's got different pockets and stuff, and it's like a bag of holding in different pieces and stuff.
Right, and then you have like the one that's like coat, and you have the fortress that can hold a bunch of stuff, and then
Lehman's secret. It's Lehman's secret chest, which is a spell, which the chest sits on the ethereal plane, and you have the little miniature of it, and that's what you actually put down and use, and you summon the chest forth, and you put stuff, and away it goes again. So that's a good way. But DMs, just like that spell, you could actually do something with a box. With a box. Print on it. Hubert, thank you. Hubert's handy haversack. That is correct. Thank you. I cannot remember.
Thanks, Antonio.
So many items to remember, but Antonio's got that mind that he just had all his plugged in certain places.
Yeah. And how does he file all that away?
Oh, it's amazing. He's
my
great.
memory is just enough stuff that you could fit on like a pamphlet, like one of those trifolds. I have to look everything up.
I remember a lot, but I keep forget. Sometimes I'll forget the names because I got so many things in my head. There's a robe of useful things that you can pull. There's so many different magical items. But back to what we were saying, you can sit there and take something as simple as a bag, just a bag, a little satchel or a pouch even, and make it to where you open it up, and you open it up, and inside is, maybe it doesn't hold because there's a pouch. It doesn't hold as much as the bag. Maybe instead of, I think it's 500 pounds, it only holds 200 pounds. But I'll tell you what, you give that to someone and they're going to appreciate it. Because do you know that for every pound, you get 50 coins for every pound? Stop and think about if you had 200 pounds of gold pieces in here. If you fill this bag up, stop and think about it. That's a lot of gold. Yeah. Do you know how much gold that really is?
And you know what would happen if you flipped that thing inside out and
you go
shotgun?
You go, it all comes spilling out. It's crazy. Yeah. So anyway, that's a lot of coinage. That's 50 coins per pound. That's 10,000 gold. 10,000 gold pieces.
Whatever you want.
Now let's get really stupid crazy, and let's put 200 pounds of diamonds and jewels in there instead. Oops. Now 100,000 maybe.
Oh, easily.
Put platinum in there instead of 10. Now it's
Ethereum.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You get so stupid with it. I mean, it's just crazy, right?
What is it?
200 pounds. Electrum? And it's not a lot electrum, but electrum's not, it's less than gold. It takes 2 electrums to make a gold. But it takes 10 gold to make 1 platinum. That's where it gets good.
Platinum, yeah.
200 pounds of platinum in here? What? Instead of 10,000, then you have 10 times that much. You have 100,000 gold pieces in this little pouch that nobody even knows about. It's a little pouch. Or if you want to do, if you want to be a rogue, like a more roguish type, you can get a belt of holding. Instead of a bag holding, have a belt made. And maybe it only carries 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Now it's very little. It's only 10%. But think about it. 50 pounds of what? And it doesn't weigh anything but the weight of the belt, which is, I think, a pound.
Right.
Stop and think about that for just a second.
It's a duty belt, like Batman.
No, Batman got. This would be the Joker. You know how the Joker in the original movie goes, where does he get those wonderful toys? He'd be like, I can't believe he has those wonderful toys. Because, 50. That's the Joker. That's the Joker be mad. Yeah. But, so use your imagination. Listen, you could take any magical item in the game and just change it. Okay, so instead of a belt of giant strength, you can make it braces of giant strength, or the crown of giant strength. Whatever. I was talking about this. And I didn't want to. We're going to talk about that, magical items and different things, but there's a lot of different things that you can do. You can always imbue, instead of having chainmail +3, dun dun dun. Forget the magical part of it. What if that chainmail? Now, to watch this. So you put a +3 piece of chainmail out on someone, right? Or you put out they have to choose because they can only have one or the other. You put them in a situation where it's going to be either or. +3 chainmail, mithril chainmail suit of giant strength. Oops. Now which one do you want? +3 chainmail, mithril suit of chainmail. It's magical too. The difference is that giant strength.
Yeah.
Decisions, right? So there you go. See what I just did there? This is in the DM's guide. This is just really cool. So you can do things like that. Ring of invisibility, very popular. Everybody wants a ring of invisibility. But how about a brooch of invisibility?
Oh,
huh?
It's
That'd be kind of cool, right? How about an earring of invisibility? I mean, think about it. The ring is just an item. It's a piece of jewelry. So, ring, bracelet, right? If the character wears a nose ring, earring,
belly button piercing.
I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but if it suits a character and that's something that they're looking for, why not? Why not? They have an eyebrow piercing, whatever the character is, shoot. And let's say they don't like jewelry, like they just don't like a lot of jewelry. Gloves of invisibility.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. A hat of invisibility.
Scarf.
Shoes,
There it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
The ring is not just because I have the ring on, it doesn't activate until I tell it to activate.
And you can make it fun. Make it a crop top of invisibility that your barbarian has to wear in order to sneak through.
All righty then. So see, with that in mind, oh my Lord, what is going on? Hey, listen, you never know what's going to happen on this show. But look, we've been on here for a while. We've taken up a lot of your time. We always appreciate you not only coming on live, but hey, 2 thumbs up. And we really appreciate all of you folks that come on afterwards and watch this later on, because I know there's people working and stuff. And you pop in and out and then you watch the show later on. But we appreciate you. Without you, this wouldn't be any fun. That's kind of why I love the interactive part of this. I always thank everybody who comes on. I really appreciate you guys. Love you guys, because it's no fun if we just sit here and just talk. I just love, and I used to do this by myself. So you guys kept me sane, and now I just have a co-host that comes on and off when she can. So I appreciate it, because it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more interactive. Yeah. You get more opinions.
More exciting.
You talk about crop tops that are magical. And
definitely a better show now.
Definitely.
You're welcome, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Wow, there it goes.
I'm so humble.
Who cares about humble? Humbug. All right. So, once again, from John's Dungeon Corner, I'm John.
I'm Donna.
And we love you guys for coming out.
Thank you so much.
May all your my God, may all
rise up.
No, see, you gotta be all flushing. May the road rise up to meet your feet, and may all your adventures always be successful. She gotta be all crop tops, really. But thank you for coming to the show, and we appreciate you. Go end this stream